Hey guys, new podcast. Sorry it's late this week. I've just been really busy. I'm in Baltimore right now. Next week I'm shooting Bert the Conqueror in Ohio, and then I am in Dayton the weekend after that. Irvine in December. Posted a new video to my YouTube page, my vlog. It's I hung out. I just basically recorded a day of working on the set of Bert the Conqueror. It's pretty funny. Starts in the morning and ends at night. That's the way a day works. Fuckface. Way to go, dummy. I'm a fucking idiot sometimes. I'm having a little bit of a rough patch right now, guys. I'm not going to lie to you. Those are my tour dates. Check out my YouTube channel. Go to bertbertbert.com and you can, all my tour dates, and you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. You click the link. And I posted the cattle auction from TripFlip. It is hilarious. If you like me laughing, it is 7 minutes of me laughing. I just laughed the hardest I've ever laughed. And I got the Vietnamese ear cleaning. I got the world's tallest stadium jump on there. I'm putting out content, folks. December is going to be a content month. You get ready. Hold on to your britches. Today's guest is a hilarious dude. He is just funny. He's the guy you'd be blessed to live with in the 20s in your building. You're like, thank God that guy lives across the hall from me. My life is better because of him. He's a fucking man. And I love that about fucking comics that fucking own it. He's got a podcast on the Sideshow Network called Puck Off. He tours with Lisa Lampanelli and I think Bill Burr. We talk about all this on the podcast. Put your hands together. Just clap by yourself for Joe Bartnick.
This is Bertcast.
No, it's recording.
Not that I have any, not that I know.
No. Is it not pushed in all the way? Let me turn... No, wait. I'll leave those on in case your wife wants to talk.
Yeah, don't let her. This was a man cave. Sit outside, please.
I'm hang on one sec. What sucks is when I do these podcasts like this where I try to bang out a bunch while I'm in town. Mm-hmm. The same thought. It's like I've done... Hang on one second. Talking there?
Hello.
That sounds perfect.
Bert's podcast. I've done a few of these.
I'll turn this down just so that...
I get loud.
That's perfect.
If it matters, but...
No, it's fine. That's perfect. The thing that happens is I end up talking a lot.
What, the same three things? Because that's what's going on?
Yeah, and so I like right now I'm obsessed with this article I read about the coddling of the American mind. And it's about... You're lucky you're here today. Yesterday I did a podcast and I didn't put the AC on. I didn't have it set up yet.
Oh,
and
man.
It was fucking sweltering in here. But yeah, so I read this article and it's all about trigger warnings and vindictive policing that's happening online with people. I'm really glad the conversation's happening.
Oh, yeah. I just retweeted an Ari Shafir, or yesterday, about how there's actually people now, cultural libertarians, that are like anti-right wing, anti-left wing, that just want free speech to be heard. And that's, and as stand-up comics, that's all we want. You know, it's like it's the police. Like, oh, you can't rip on this person. You can't rip on this person. It's like, oh, it's just horrible.
I'm so stupid though that I read an article that makes sense, and then I go, that makes sense, and then I read another article that negates it, and I go, well, that makes sense too. And then I read another article and I go, that makes even more sense. Like, I read this article define, trigger warnings, right?
Actually, I don't. I
okay, so trigger warnings. I was trying to write a joke last night about how trigger warnings are, they're in school right now and they're all online. And it's basically when anyone who's suffered any trauma, any type of trauma, be it sexual assault, be it, by the way, I should say a trigger warning before I even talk about trigger warnings. I think you're supposed to say trigger warning. Like,
I know the new word. This is my safe space, Bert.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's basically, so students will say, I don't want you to teach about slavery to a teacher because it brings up feelings for them, and so they don't want like those feelings. By the way, I'm bastardizing whatever this is, but this is technically it. And so I read an article about it last night, and it's with sexual assault, and it's with people that experience stress, traumatic stress, have PTSD about an event. So a teacher is not forced, I think he chooses to do it, but say, listen, trigger warning, today we're going to be talking about said subject.
So every time I hear glove side, I think of Tom Barrasso giving up a bad goal in 1993.
Yeah.
That's my most traumatic moment. Like, Barrasso didn't get his glove up. The dynasty's over.
That's it. Technically, that really is kind of what it is.
Right.
It's something that pulls back, something that makes you angry or upset or hurt or causes anxiety. It's this whole debate that's going on. It seems this week, like this last couple weeks, especially because a guy wrote an article in the Atlantic about it. And then another guy wrote one in the New Yorker, and then someone wrote one about Jimmy Fallon's ring finger, and like equivalating trigger warnings to hey, do you want to watch two girls, one cup? And then ultimately a trigger warning is just giving you a heads up. It's fucking disgusting. Like, just giving you a heads up. This is something that may fuck you up.
Right.
Like that's what a trigger warning is technically. It's because Fallon did it. He said, don't even Google what happened to my finger if you don't want to be fucking disgusted, because what happened to Fallon's finger, apparently his ring almost ripped off his fucking finger. Did you hear about
when he was drunk on TV, or no?
I think he was drunk at a bar and he fell, or he tried to catch someone's drink, and his ring almost ripped off his fucking finger.
Oh,
and so exactly, and so he went on TV the next day to talk about what happened. And he said, listen, I'll tell you what happened, but do not Google it because you'll have a hard time forgetting
it was videotaped.
Yeah. Oh, no. There's just images of it. There's images of it. So not of his finger, but of people it's happened to, and it's fucking disgusting. So basically someone was equivalating that to trigger warnings, saying that's what a trigger warning is, just a heads up. And then someone said, well, no, you can't do that with students because I'm reading all these articles. My point of getting all this was I was trying to write a joke, and then I was like, don't even fucking go there. I don't want those people that get fucking vindictive and want to ruin your career that are online, those people that just try to destroy you in every way possible.
Right.
I don't want them against me. I don't want to talk to any of them.
Right, and it's scary because it's funny when you say stuff that someone might get that's the funny stuff.
Well, it's neat. This is trigger warning. But it's fun playing in your dad's garage with gunpowder. Like those are the times I remember the most is when we found a fucking bottle rocket and we opened it up and spread gunpowder in the garage. That's it's dangerous as fuck. Right. You may burn your boxers and light your nuts on fire. Right. But it when it does work, there's nothing better than getting a joke that's well crafted and is taking a chance and it works and other comics respect it and the audience respects it.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful fucking...
that's my favorite. They're all my jokes. Those are my favorite types of jokes. That's what, whatever, not name dropping. That's what Bill says he loves, especially in Boston. Just went after the people and they were just like... He loved the fact they were just like, yeah. Like, we'll take it. Bring it on.
Well, Bill's a perfect example. He did Bill's someone who goes for the thing that no one's going for, or he tackles a subject that I enjoy watching that because it's the thing that I haven't written about yet,
Right.
And I think that, and it's the thing I haven't thought about, and the way he thought about it was different, and those are the comics I enjoy watching. Right. And have I seen them go too far? Of course. But as a fan of comedy, I give them that allowance.
Honestly, I've never seen anybody go too.
Of course we have.
Well, in what sense? I think people go too far when they shit on a room.
No. We've all seen guys take a chance where you're like, they laugh it off and they're like, okay, fuck it, I tried.
Personally, but do you think there's the only subject that I think is kind of off, which I can even laugh at a well-crafted one, but I don't do rape jokes.
I don't,
and that's not because I think some of them aren't funny. That's just because to me, I don't want to perpetuate that. That's not my cup of tea.
It's not.
But I'll laugh at a well-crafted one.
Oh yeah. Oh, listen, I've seen Tosh take big fucking swings.
Okay, yeah,
and go and big swings.
Right.
And he goes places where not a lot of people are going.
Right.
And I've seen I wasn't offended by no stretch of the means. I'm a powerful individual. You can't offend me.
Right.
There's no part of any word you can say to me that's going to offend me, and then I sit in bed with it. The fuck? Like, that doesn't exist in my world.
Right.
But that's I'm a comic also, and I know his attempt is not to try to make someone upset and angry, but to make them laugh.
Right.
And I've taken big chances and missed. And like on stage where you think something is going to work brilliantly and you just miss. And but I allow a comic that.
But isn't that just missing, or is that thinking it's going too? You're going too far, or is it just not funny? I don't think there's any part that's passed too far.
No, I don't think. Yeah, I don't think.
That's what I was trying to get at before.
Yeah, You might be right about it. Let me rephrase
everything
that,
can be. I mean, Dana Gould's like, remember his last special, or maybe saying last special, like, my first rejection would be about like AIDS, rape, and something else, and he goes, and they all worked like hilariously, just to prove.
I don't think you can go. Let me rephrase that. You're right about that. I'm wrong. You can't go too far as a comic. There's nothing out of bounds, in my opinion.
That's what I kind of wanted.
Yeah, but I've seen people take the step into the dark territory, miss, and have to come back.
Right.
And those misses are what get people fucking up in arms and irate. And I go, you can't do that.
And too far is almost like deep sea diving, where the younger the comic, the less deep he can go. Like there was jokes that I did like 2 years in that were horrific to people that now is like rated G compared to what I can get away with now.
Well,
it's how you learn how to swim the depths of how to get into a subject.
And just like deep sea diving, it takes very long to get up from those deep places.
Right.
Like you got to go 10 feet a minute, and you got to hang out the last 15 feet.
Yeah.
Oh, there she is. And so, but I respect the guys that go fucking deep. I love it.
Well, there's only. I mean, literally the only comics that I watch are the people like or Bill or Jim Jeffries pushes the envelope. He pushes the envelope. They're the only comics I think that regular comics like us not regular, whatever you would say, pro, whatever you would say, comic watch, because they're the people that are interesting.
Yeah, they're the people that are genuinely interesting. Are the people that you go, he's tackling something like he's going somewhere where I haven't thought of. And that's, and sometimes the places you haven't thought is like Jimmy Carr. We went, do you know Jimmy Carr? No. He's a British comic, and he is fucking genius. He is genius. And we went and did a cancer, like not a hospice house, but like a cancer recovery house. And Jimmy's like in the van, and he's like, is anyone talking about cancer today? And I'm like, no. By the way, I'm not saying that's not the comic I am.
Right.
Maybe if I have the right joke. But
Right.
I don't have any cancer jokes.
Right.
Let alone do I think that I could pull it off today, because I'm nervous. I'm nervous about performing in front of a bunch of people who have or are getting through or are possibly dying from cancer in a room that's just them in their center that they're not center but house that they're living in.
Right.
I'm nervous about that. Jimmy Carr's going right for the fucking throat.
Right.
And he's like, no, that's what I do. Like, but that makes Jimmy Carr, and he did it. I mean, his opening joke was like, "Can we talk about cancer?" Like, by the way, he's closing the show. No one's going after him to fucking clean it up if he doesn't do well.
Right.
That fearlessness. That's like watching the guys that rock climb not use a rope. You know?
Oh yeah. I can't even watch those guys on TV. It makes me sick.
Yeah.
You know what? I can't even. I'll tell you what makes me sick. In our local pizza shop, they have the picture of the Italians all sitting on like the Empire State Building. I can't even look at that. I'm like, how the hell are they sitting there?
I look at that picture so much. I mean, I think I read something about how they took that picture.
They were super glued to this.
No, I mean, that was my hands are sweating thinking about it.
Oh, it's nuts.
That whole time. I guess there was an Indian tribe that was not afraid of heights. The tribe wasn't afraid of heights.
Yeah, that's that movie Wolfen is based on. You ever see the movie Wolfen?
No.
It had a tit shot. We were like in third grade, so you had the TiVo. No, whatever. Not TiVo. What? Like stay up, up and make sure you caught the tit.
You had to stay up. I would VCR it. What I would do is I remember VCRing things that I thought might get it, and I just hit record, And I'd wait until I became good at plot deconstruction to be like The Name of the Rose was the first one where I was like, all right, this is definitely going to have nudity. So I throw a blank tape in, and I'm just sitting there waiting and waiting and waiting. And then when I see Christian, whatever, walk into the room by himself, I'm like, here's where it starts. And I click it, and I'm like, come on, make it happen, make it happen. I'm like checking over my shoulder. And then all of a sudden they start fucking. I'm like, that's what I knew it, nailed it.
Well, you can tell from the guide when it would say like strong sexual content. It's like that's the one to watch,
dude. There was like I wished I could have gotten into like so many. There's so many things that I wished I could have rented when I was a kid. There's this movie called Gator Bait that I saw every
sounds great.
fucking day. Every time we went into the rental store, it was like Gator Bait. It was in a glass case.
Yeah.
And I remember saying to my dad, like casually, like, do you think that one's good? I mean, we live on a lake. We like gators. Do you need our Wi-Fi? It is. What is our Wi-Fi? I think it's my phone number.
You know what though? Like there's just those moments in time though. Like you just had to be like dressed to kill.
Hang on, not
okay.
at all. Did it work? All right, you're online. I just gave her my password, herpes boy 34. Trigger warning.
You've got AIDS. That's what it always. No, like you had to time it perfectly. Like Dressed to Kill with Angie Dickinson naked in the shower was always just like the first 10 minutes. So you could even plot it out where like, oh, your grandma's in this room, your mom's upstairs. Like, okay, it's on right now.
Yeah. I wish there was. You know what I miss about masturbating is the urgency with which it would show up when I was younger. But I'm saying like before I'm not, and I don't want to sound like an old man, but before the internet, before all of that, there was like you wouldn't be thinking about it, and then something would pop up. Like there was this thing called Foxy Boxing in Tampa, and you know Ron Bennington.
The name sounds familiar.
He's Ron and Fez. He's out of
okay.
Yeah,
okay.
That's Ron.
Okay,
and I think Ron would host Foxy Boxing, but it would be on Channel 32. What's the matter?
No, go ahead.
What's the matter?
I don't want the keyboards.
You can't hear it. You can't hear it. You can't hear it.
All right.
These mics are fucking horrible. Foxy Boxing was on Channel 32 or 30. I think it was 32 or 48, and it would just come on at like midnight. And the second it would come on, every part of me would just go, "Let's go right now!" But it was like I have not. This is gonna sound sad, but I haven't like. I don't think I've masturbated once in maybe the past 10 years where I was aroused first. It's more like a decision, like, I guess I could do that, and then I have to work it up, like as opposed to, like it's there, and then I go, well, let's take care of this. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I usually jerk off because I am horny.
No, but I'm not horny sometimes. I'm just like bored. Not sometimes.
Yeah, well, no, I do that too. When you're like, okay, well, I just did the treadmill. Well, I mean, I thought I did the treadmill for a while. Now I have 3 hours to the show. I'm going to jerk for the nap.
Yeah,
you know,
jerk. I'll do it. I'll do it when I'm hungover to boost up my serotonin. I'll be like, I don't feel so good. I bet if I jerked off, I could go back to bed. It would calm me down.
Right.
Like,
it's a medical jerk.
Yeah, my wife came in this morning to have sex. We ended up talking, and she was like, "Oh my god!" Like first time ever. I can't believe we talked instead of having sex. And then I was like, "Oh, we can have sex." She's like, "Yeah." Do you think you could do it quick? And I was like, "Well, give me a second." But like, it was more like I don't even know if I really wanted to have sex. I just knew that if I didn't do it then, that I wouldn't get it for a while. Like it was on the table, so I was like, "Well, fuck it. Hold on, let me get ready. Like, let me prep everything." But I don't know. Did you start in Pittsburgh?
I started comedy in San Francisco.
Where, really?
Yeah.
How did you get out of San Francisco?
Basically, I wanted to live in the city that I thought was like the boom of comedy, and and the Grateful Dead, and just San Francisco was awesome until the basically the computer industry ruined it.
Really? When were you in San Francisco?
From the early '90s until 2007.
Really?
8. Whenever until Hurricane Katrina. That's the weekend I moved to LA. I knew that because all of our shit was lost for a couple days, but we did bring one TV down so we could like hook up direct TV.
Yeah.
So on our little TV, it's like we're watching everyone else lose all their shit, so we couldn't really feel that bad about it. Like, I know my big TV's on a truck somewhere. It's not floating in the Gulf of Mexico or whatever.
This is going to sound very morbid, but do you enjoy, not enjoy, but do you like, when those big national disasters happen, do you find it comforting to sit by the TV and watch it and follow it for 4 days?
No. As a matter of fact, like after 9/11, I was actually the first day we got DirecTV, I'll never forget this, was 9/10. And I love the fact that we had DirecTV on 9/11 because I could just watch Boomerang.
Oh, you don't watch those?
And watch like the Looney Tunes and stuff.
You don't watch those obsessively?
No, not at all.
Oh, dude,
not at all.
I'm
Not
horrible.
at all.
I'm horrible. I literally,
Really?
Yeah, like I start getting depressed when I feel like the coverage is falling out. Like when people stop caring.
Hey, wait a second. There's another tragedy. Hold on. I'm not done with this one.
One of my favorite things is, I don't know. I hope that there's someone that is hearing this at least and going like, he's not a bad person. He's just, there's some condition to this. But like when hurricane season happens, I fucking track hurricanes on Weather Channel all the time. And if it's gonna touch land, I leave it on when I'm on the road. I leave it on when I go to the club, and when I come home, it's almost like a blanket. I get in bed and I'm like, oh, let's watch what's going on with what's Jim Cantone doing.
Does your TiVo know you like hurricanes? Like, oh, there's a new one coming. Come home and there's like 4 new hurricanes on your TiVo.
We haven't had TiVo in so long, but I still say TiVo. I still say TiVo.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I go
it's like Coca-Cola.
Make sure you TiVo it, and
Yeah.
the man's like, what? But yeah, this is sad, but like I'm out of this house so much these days that nothing I watch is recorded anymore. Like I've been taking off the, like, that's sad. But
Yeah.
like it's all Teen Titans Go, it's all the kids stuff is like the first 9, and then it's like Downton Abbey, True Detective, like all Leanne shit, and then maybe there's a 30 for 30 on there.
Yeah, the only thing my old TiVo, the one that I still have it.
Yeah.
It literally it's like the archives of the greatest things in the world. It's like Lemieux goals and Steelers Super Bowls is on that TV, like all the highlights. But that one died. So the new one, I mean, all I really care about is making sure that I have my hockey highlights every night for my podcast. After that, it's the ladies. I mean, my daughter watches. Just last night, she is watching such. I'm like, come with the family. Why listen on your iPad? So she was watching this shit that was so hurtful to my soul. I'm like, we're gonna watch Tom Sawyer with with Jodie Foster with Injun Joe. That's what we watched.
They called him Injun Joe.
Yeah, and that was my nickname back in Pittsburgh. Was Injun Joe, and I used to
Really?
be so scared of Injun Joe when I was a kid too.
Really? Wait. What? Hold on. What was she gonna watch?
She was watching like Boy Meets World or Girl Meets
It's
World.
the new one with Topanga and Fred Savage.
I don't know. They
get married and they have
live
kids.
in New York and they're supposed to live in New York. I'm like, no one in New York has an apartment that nice unless they're named Trump.
Yeah, and no one. He still looks like a child. The Ben Savage.
Yeah, it was just so. This black guy worked in a aquarium store, and all they sold was goldfish. And I'm like, that's really going to pay the rent at 4th and 8th Avenue.
That's when you know. That's when you know the city. Like I used to watch Friends and go, "That's not what a subway station looks like." Clean, and they just walked in. So what do you guys? I go, "Where's the homeless guy playing bongos on a tin can?"
Oh my God, that's the worst. Especially when the hotter it gets, the more annoying the drum circle with the buckets. Like I didn't mind the breakdancing as much as that the drum circle.
My favorite part of New York is the guys who go to Washington Square and dive over people. Do you ever see those guys?
I know what you're talking about.
Those young black kids who just dive over fucking 18 people, and everyone just gets around and starts clapping. It's the weirdest. Fucking like they had it in Montreal. Like, and when we were in Montreal, they had those people that would jump over people.
Really?
Oh yeah. It's like I used to be really good at that as a kid. I could dive over a hedge and land and dive into a diving roll. I used to be really good at that as a kid. I used to be very acrobatic.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, I'm so fucking fat right now. You look good. Have you been working out?
Thank you. Can we cut this as a highlight clip and send it to my mom?
Send mine to my dad.
Yeah, I know. I've lost like 25 pounds, and I just trying to be healthier. I just had to lose some weight.
How'd you do it?
How did I lose some weight? It stopped enjoying myself.
Is it all around diet?
A lot less drinking.
That'll do it.
A lot less, and kind of like no red meat, and kind of just being a queer at night, like, oh, have some frozen grapes, and not like chocolate covered Twinkies.
I am really good until like fucking 4:00. Like right now, all I've had is a shake, like a really healthy shake, protein powder, mean green, unsweetened almond milk, and some berries. And then I had some egg whites and chopped up chicken breast.
Wow, that's all I've had. That's really healthy. Like
I'm really healthy.
And plus, I've been doing the treadmill a lot.
I've been walking roughly about 10 miles a day on my Fitbit, like around 25,000 steps a day. So I've been working out like crazy.
Yeah,
I've been eating right.
You look good though.
Well, what happened? No, I'm the fattest I've ever fucking been.
Really?
I'm the fattest.
You seem solid when we hugged. I was like, that's a man.
It's my back.
But I mean, no, but you're like I like to kind of quote a tell. So I'd love to. You're like steak fat. You're not like jelly donut fat.
I'm steak fat. That's a good.
You know what I mean? You're like manly fat. Like that's what I was. I mean, when I'm big, I look like Tony Soprano. Like I don't have like a jiggly fat.
Yeah, I don't.
And that's a disgusting fat. That's a gay fat. That's not like a man fat.
I'm very big. I'm like that. I still like lifting weights, and my thing is walking. But the problem is, I get to like dinner last night, and I'm like, my wife goes, let's do leftovers. We've been cooking all week, so I've been here. So we do leftovers, and it's like meatloaf, ribs, like beef ribs, pork ribs. They're like, like only a few left. But I have two kids all having one rib, and then there's like 2 extra ribs, and then a beef rib, and then half a thing of meatloaf. I ate so fucking much last night, and then I sleep and I wake up, I'm the same fucking weight. But I worked out a ton. Yeah. I eat healthy half the fucking day.
But muscle is also muscle weighs more than fat. So if you're working out, you could be a lot thinner fat wise, but the muscle's heavier. That's what I tell myself.
They say it should be like based on how your pants fit. But like, man, when you start gaining weight, sweatpants are such enablers. They're literally like the friend that's like, come on, man, you don't have a problem, have one drink,
right?
And jeans are like the strict asshole that are like, fucking dude, one drink means you're gonna get fucking hammered. And because I have jeans. I have one pair of jeans that I can wear. I can't wear them right out of the washer. Like out of the washer, I gotta put them on and stretch them out, and then I can wear them. And then once they've been worn for like 5 days, they start getting comfortable.
Yeah, literally what happened to me was going. I was at the hotel, like an hour to go. Oh, I'm like 2 blocks from Gotham. No problem. The jeans I packed, my black jeans, my nice ones, non-faded, like it's Gotham weekend.
Yeah.
Headlining me and Versi, all in, baby. Dude, I got up to like my knee, and I'm like,
that is the worst fucking feeling when they get mid-thigh, and you're like, this isn't making over to the ass.
No, it's not. I'm like, like I can wear shorts. My first, or I can wear like dirty, like blue jeans that were on the plane, So I literally do a circle around. Manhattan is like 30 stores in a block. None. Couldn't find any black. I'm like, oh my god! Everywhere I finally walked into like the Buffalo Exchange, and I'm looking frankly. It's big. I don't know if it was a girl that's going to be a boy or a boy that's going to be a girl. I'm not quite sure which one. Yeah. But she's like big black, bigger than me. Was like, what do you need help with, sweetheart? And I'm like, I need jeans my boys can fit into. And he or she's like, I know that. Save my ass. And I went up and I go, is there a return policy? Well, I go, I don't even care. And it was $20 and boom, save the day. But yeah, no, I only have like 2 pairs of jeans that fit. It's like
I want there to be. I went to Gap. I had a pair of jeans that were too tight. I went to Gap. Here's the problem with my body is like my legs are a size, like my legs and calves are a size 36. My waist is a size 38. So like
that's in the ball game of
no. I'm saying like, meaning when I put on a pair of 38s, they feel comfortable, but they look ugly on me. When I put on a pair of 36, they look good on me, but they're uncomfortable.
Yeah,
Is that making sense?
100%. And I always go with relaxed fit. I don't give a shit what I look like.
I always go.
You go tight and uncomfortable?
I go tight and uncomfortable because I believe that'll get me to lose weight.
Yeah, I just go with...
Clearly it hasn't. Clearly it hasn't.
No, because when I go tight, uncomfortable, I'm not comfortable on stage. And then it's like, then whatever the mentally, I'm not loosey-goosey on stage. I don't know if it comes off or whatever. I just know that when my boys are nice and loose, it's a better,
I do that with shirts.
Oh yeah,
I stopped
that's
wearing.
why for years I always wore the bowling. Everyone's like, Bartnick wears bowling shirts all the time. What are you an idiot? I go, no, because they're the only shirts that make my gut not look. Tony Soprano shirts, like I wore them forever until I lost enough weight where I couldn't. And then like once this winter, I'm like, I got to go back to the Tony Soprano shirts.
I stopped wearing shirts altogether on stage.
Yes,
I haven't worn a shirt on stage in 2 years. I literally haven't worn a shirt because of that same thing.
Yeah.
I look, and I know this doesn't make any sense to anyone else, but I look fat in a shirt.
Yeah.
Like I look fat in a shirt.
No, dress
without
shirts
a
make
shirt.
people
Without a
look
shirt, I don't even look that fat. Like
Right.
It sounds really crazy, but like when a dress shirt gets tight around the belly and you move and you can see it not move with the body and not hang, I look fat. And I was getting self-conscious of it. I was talking, my youngest daughter's, it was at the time in occupational therapy because she was, it's rearing its head again, but she is, as she develops, her fucking kid's brain is just fucking wired very fucking different. Like wired like Tony Soprano's. Like just a interesting, like almost deviant, almost like fucking bizarre. Like really a
Excuse
weird.
my ignorance. What is occupational therapy? You don't have to go down into if you don't want.
No, I don't
that
give
far,
a fuck.
but-
I've always talked about this.
No, but and that's what I mean. If everyone's heard it before.
Oh no. I don't talk about this much.
Okay.
But like I don't mind talking about it. It is. Did you ever have problems with the kids where like they'd put on their socks felt weird? Did you ever know anyone like that?
Their socks or what?
Like you'd put on socks, and then you'd put on shoes on the socks, and the socks felt weird in the shoe because of the seam on the toe, or like
Oh yeah. Well,
people who would don't like tabs on the back on the back of their shirts, or like there's something on in their pants, and their pants feel weird.
Okay.
It's basically tactile. She's got tactile issues, which I have. Meaning, like, I can only wear certain types of things that I feel comfortable in.
Sure.
Like, if
isn't that everybody though?
no, it borders on a
Like
little
I
bit.
never wear socks unless I'm wearing boots. It drives people crazy.
I could never do that. I could never do that.
Really?
Because tactilely, that would make me crazy the whole fucking time. I don't wear underwear because wearing something wearing underpants would make me feel cramped and claustrophobic. Like it would make me crazy. So I never wear underwear. And like there's a lot of things. Like I'm sure I'm mis-explaining this, but that was one of the things, and that was causing. There's the way brains are made sometimes are just that they fire differently. I have that brain. Isla has that brain. It's they call it a hot singlet. It's like a brain that fires interestingly. Sometimes it's up, sometimes it's down, sometimes it loses its shit. Mostly if it's undealt with as children, you end up with substance abuse problems. Well, hence my career. But so I don't know how we got onto this, but like Isla has fucking tactile issues. Oh, with the shirt thing.
Okay.
So we take her to an occupational therapist. As she's going through the litany of things that were like, as she's saying it, it's like a laundry list of things that we're dealing with Isla. I'm recognizing they're all things I've dealt with in my childhood and had to just get through it. And it also builds into anxiety attacks and panic disorder. Like all these things kind of just build into like this fucking laundry list of something that could make someone out of their fucking mind crazy or tough to deal with, tough to be around, And so she's doing it, and I start going like, as she's doing it, my wife's also looking directly at me going like, this is you. And I was like, this is me.
Don't wives have a way of looking at the kid like this is all your fault?
Yeah.
It's your genes.
And I'm like, and I
The
go,
Roman Empire.
She's like, do you have a problem with this stuff? And I go, at the time I was having a very hard time on stage because I was gaining weight and I felt like I was sweating. And I wasn't sweating because I was nervous. I was sweating because I was interactive and I was excited. And sweat would start right here, like right on my chin line and on my armpits, and then it would show up on my back, and it would make me think the audience thinks I'm nervous, but I'm not nervous at all. I have no nerves. And I was and like you'd do something where like you'd raise your hands and then your shirt would stay there, and that would make me self-conscious. And I said to this lady, I was like, and then the lady just very candidly said, "Well, why do you wear a shirt?" Like when I perform, I said, "When I perform," she didn't know I was a comic. I said, "Well, why do you wear a shirt?" Thinking I'm maybe like a rock star or something. And I was like, I don't know why. And so I started taking my shirt off on stage. Second I get off on stage, I just rip my shirt off, and it would get such a huge response that I was like, oh, and then I'd put it back on, and people would boo. And then one day I was like, fuck it, I'm doing the whole show with my shirt off. Ripped it off, did the whole show with my shirt off, and by the way, 5 minutes in, no one noticed that my shirt was off anymore. And so I was like, fuck it, I'm done wearing shirts on stage. So I started not wearing shirts on stage, and I haven't worn a shirt. I'll do it sometimes. Like if I'm doing a short set, I'll wear a shirt on stage, like 15 minutes.
I think I remember following you at the SF Punchline, and you had your shirt off.
Yeah.
2 years ago, and the crowd made me take my shirt off, and it was much worse. It was like, and they were like, it was okay set, but I'm like, yeah, what happened? And it's like, yeah, I don't know. Bert had his shirt off. They made me take my shirt off. It wasn't.
That is my. I just like.
It's all, you know how your life you just remember. Now I remember. I remember that exactly. It was a Sunday night, like 2 years ago.
It's, and then you start like there's certain things I used to like wearing boots on stage. Then Rogan said something to me. He was like, this isn't what he said, but this is what I heard. Like, what if you have to get away? Like that sounded so odd. Like, not that I don't. That can't be what he said. But he's like, oh, I always wear sneakers on stage. What if you have to get away? Or we were all fucked up. Who knows what he said? But that's what I heard. Like, what if you have to get away? And then I was like, man, I don't want to wear boots. I need sneakers. And I started thinking, like, I'd be on stage and I noticed my boots wouldn't have much traction. And I was like, fuck, I need to get away.
Really?
So now I wear sneakers on stage.
I try to be as comfortable as I possibly can on stage without lowering the decorum of the room.
I would wear flip flops if I could.
Or my set. Like if it's like a Friday night, I'll always wear, like club, always wear, or like with Bill or Lisa, whatever, like always wear like black pants, nice shirt, and my most comfortable black shoes.
Yeah.
And like then everything after that is lower and lower.
Just shy of nursing shoes.
Yeah. Well, I have a pair of really comfortable dress shoes that you don't have to tie to just step into.
Yeah.
So then these are like my nice tennis shoes I wear for every other set that isn't like basically like if I'm getting paid, which is most of the time. If I'm just trying out stuff, I don't really care what it looks like. But if I'm getting paid, I try to up the ante.
Oh,
and other than that, I want to be as comfortable as possible without looking terrible.
This
you know what I mean? Like
the best conversation I've ever had on my podcast. because and this is something I hope every comic is listening to right now. What you wear on stage is something some guys pay no mind to. Like, and then some guys, like myself, I've been obsessive about it. I've been obsessive about what I wear on stage because when I first started, I didn't give a fuck. I really didn't give a fuck. And then someone said something to me, and it got in my head. I used to wear flip-flops on stage for the first fucking 10, no, not 10. For the first probably 2 years of doing stand-up, I wore flip-flops on stage every time. And I wore the same flip-flops, Kino flip-flops from Key West. They were my most comfortable flip-flops. I wore them every single day. I wore them everywhere I went. I don't even know if I had a pair of closed-toed shoes. And so in New York, and so I definitely didn't have a pair of sneakers in New York. I did not own sneakers in New York. I only know that because I remember one day going, I should get a pair of sneakers. And I was like, what do they
New
look like?
New York's a two-shoe town.
Yeah.
Your boots and whatever other shoe.
Blundstones and flip-flops and Kinos.
Yeah.
And they were and I felt like those defined me. And then one day I go to host at the Hollywood Improv. I move out to LA. I had a fucking TV show. I wore flip-flops every day on the TV show. Every fucking day. And so I go to host at the Improv, and Bud Freeman's standing at don't know what I mean, you remember what the old improv looks like, but like I'm trying to judge it now, but like where the DJ booth was, there used to be like a little place where comics would be around.
Yeah.
And Bud was on the step down right by the door, and I walked up, and I was on the step up, and he just has the monocle, and he goes, Mr. Kreischer, you know we have a closed-toed shoe policy on this club. I'm assuming you're going to be changing shoes before your show, and I was like, yes, sir. And I ran out to my car, and I had my Blundstones in my car, and I put them on, and I have never worn flip-flops since. And that because of that one moment. And I went, and then one time I wanted to wear my flip-flops, and someone was like, no, man, you're the boot guy. And I went, oh, fuck. And then I got all in my head. I look at Louis and like what he wears on his specials, and I wonder, and here's the question I'll put out. Do you dress the same every time you go on stage, including a special, or would you go trying stuff out outfit, working with Bill or Lisa outfit, special outfit?
I would lean that way.
So
I lean that way. Like sometimes, like for a long time with Lisa, I'd always wear a sport coat, and that's because she was in a more dressed up phase. I kind of if it's New Year's Eve, like when Bill's dressed up, then I get dressed up. But I never outdress the headliner of a theater.
So do you like so like say you're doing New Year's Eve, Bill's wearing a suit.
I wear a suit,
Really?
but I wear my sort of suit. I don't wear a tie, and I always wear black jeans. But you can't tell. It's black jeans, open. If it's New Year's Eve, it'll be the red shirt, red handkerchief, black coat. I almost always wear black when I'm on a real set. I always wear black pants, and I always have black in my. There might be some red up here, or some blue, or some white. But it's always mostly black, and that's what Molly. You know Molly.
Yeah.
She didn't. I mean, we were best friends forever. We're like brother sister. She didn't see me in blue jeans until I moved to LA. She was, I've never seen you in a pair of blue jeans.
Really?
Yeah.
What now? Can I tell you?
Sure.
I feel like I'm doing a special. I think in January. Or December or January,
right.
Maybe even February, if at the rate this fucking booking's going. But but I'm doing a Showtime or a special. I shouldn't say for who, but maybe I should. Who knows?
Beep it out.
Yeah. Why do I? They're not listening. And I was talking to the people, and I said, "Yeah, I'm definitely doing it shirtless. Like I haven't done stand up. Why would I put on a suit? I haven't worn a suit. I don't do stand up in suits." I haven't worn a collared shirt on stage.
No, I don't mean to interrupt, but what Tonight Show Jimmy Fallon, would they let you be topless, or
I wouldn't tell them?
And you just take your shirt off?
I mean, first of all, they'll never book me to do stand up, but like,
okay, well, I mean,
no, I mean, I just say that because they'd book me to do stand up, but then I'd go and tell one story, and then I'm sure after they heard the story, they'd be like, "That's a much better panel story."
Okay,
because like that's what happened with Letterman. Is like I was booked to do the show, and everyone assumed it would be stand up, and then when they looked at my material, they were like, he's doing panel, and just tell a story to Dave, and then he can interact. It's better than just doing like me monologuing a story about fucking fighting a bear, or scuba diving.
Right.
So but if I did stand up on Fallon, if they were like, "Want you to do 6 minutes, tell this story," I'd walk right out. I wouldn't tell them. I'd just take my shirt off. I'd say, "Give me a handheld mic. I don't want to be mic'd." I'd walk out. I'd take my shirt off, and I'd start stand up that way. And they'd cancel it or not, but I'm doing it my way. I'm at a point in my career where I'm so, and I had this in a dream last night. I dreamt of this. I'm so tired of the way I fucked up when I was younger by trying to conform to what I thought was successful, that now I don't give a fuck. Like it was the biggest misstep in my career was, and by the way, I was fairly successful. Like I was on TV shows and I was booking stuff. But what was the times I succeeded, I was like, fuck it, I'm doing it my way. I'm tired of it. But I remember like getting called into producers, doing a read. This is back when everyone read for like 20 sitcoms a season, and I did it the way I thought they'd look for the character. They wanted the character. I could read it, and they're like. So I did it like, well, okay, all right, like high energy, and they were like, "This is great. Bring them to producers." Actually, yeah, it was the first time I ever went. Anyway, so I go to producers, and then I come in and I do it that way, and they're like, "That's amazing." And then they were like, we want you to do it one more. We're going to bring in talent. We want you to improv. And I was like, okay. And in the improv, I couldn't keep up the character because I was like, I don't know what this guy does. And I was like, what the fuck am I doing? Do I want to be that guy? Do I want to be Kramer for the rest of my fucking life?
Right.
And so now I'm like, if I was going to do Fallon, I'd just rip my shirt off. I would never tell them.
Okay. I just wanted to see.
Like if you wanted me to panel, I'd keep my shirt on because I look disgusting sitting down. Definitely, I'd keep your shirt on. But
that would be awesome to see Letterman's face, like Bert.
Yeah, but I think that what I enjoyed in entertainment, like there was a Vince Vaughn. I don't know if it's still on there, but there was a Vince Vaughn clip a long time ago of him telling a story to David Letterman. This is like very beginning of his career, probably like 98. And it is so fucking good. And it's clear that Vince Vaughn has respect for Letterman, but he doesn't give a fuck.
Right.
And I remember watching that going, that's what a star is. When they don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
When they really don't give a fuck. When you see someone giving a fuck, it's just so sad.
Yeah.
Like it's not what makes us entertaining. You know?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't find very many people entertaining.
Really? Who do you like watching doing stand up?
Burr, Jim Jeffries.
Yeah.
I wish I saw more of you. I remember we were talking at the Comedy Store. You're like, I never play around here, and that's why I came down. Brought my wife. We came to see you.
Yeah.
we never get to see Bert Kreischer. You know.
I feel like
so just the people that are out there. I love my buddy, my touring partner, Paul Verzi.
I love
Paul Verzi's awesome. Kevin Shea.
Oh yeah.
Because you're never gonna know what Shea's gonna. It's all the people that you don't know what they're gonna say, but they're professional enough. Sam Tripoli, but they're professional enough to where it's gonna be good, or at least they've thought about it. I despise the people that go up and think everything that they say is funny and they're going to talk for 4 hours.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like that at all.
No.
Like, and I opened for Chappelle tons of times way back and if he puts it all in an hour, it's brilliant. For 7 hours watching him chain smoke, it's like, I'd rather watch my grandfather. He's funnier.
Yeah.
Chain smoking and shooting the shit. I mean, I like when people try to put an act on and not work out their craziness.
It's an interesting yes, I agree. It's like I find it somewhat and I get maybe I don't know, I can't speak for Chappelle, and I can't speak on his experiences. Maybe they're all he can do is perform in amphitheaters. Maybe that's the only thing. Maybe it's the only place he can work out material. But like, I agree with what you're saying.
I know definitely. When I saw him in Seattle like last year. I was performing with Bill, and we're like, we got done. We're like, let's go see Chappelle, and it was him in the theater, and it was like, whoa! He took the 4 hours, the 7 hours he'd do with the punchline, and put it into 2.
Yeah,
and it was a different level.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is I don't think even people's podcast. I love Ari Shaffir, but sometimes when I see on the thing it's 3 hours and 10 minutes, it's like I don't want to listen to that.
A fucking I love Ari to death, but like when
his podcast he is one of the only podcasts I listen to, by the way. It's a great podcast.
And I'd say this to Ari because I love him.
Yeah.
But it's because he's almost like socially misaligned with the universe, because he says things to people that could be construed as like a Barbara Walters question, but he doesn't mean it like that. He means it curiously. Like
right.
when did you ever listen to the one with him and Teeb talk about Teeb's drinking?
Yes.
It's a fucking great podcast.
Yeah.
It was fucking fascinating. But Ari says stuff to him like, no, you're annoying when you drink. And you like, I would never say that to anyone, but he's
right.
like, yeah. You did a lot of coke, right? Like, it's almost like stuff you're like, hey, keep that on the DL, but that's Ari. That's the way he operates.
But I think that's why he has a great podcast.
It's what makes him great. But when you hear him monologue, unless he cries, when you hear him monologue at the front, you're like, write that down in a book, work on it, and then bring it to me.
Okay, yeah. But I just mean in general, just the rambling about, I mean, that's why like on my couple of podcasts, we always keep them an hour. Like, that's it.
Yeah.
I don't care who we have. we'll do 2 parts if it's somebody incredible. That we're not going to get again.
I feel like I have to break over the hour, definitely.
Yeah.
Under 2 hours, over the hour is good for me.
Yeah.
Like I feel like it once, and I've done some long ones. I did one with Doug Benson that was 5 hours, and that was, by the way, the best thing I've ever done in my life. I did one with Rogan that was 5 hours on Rogan's podcast.
Well, Benson can keep the energy up for some reason for 5 hours.
Oh no, Stanhope.
Yeah, he's another guy that can keep it up, though. There's a few guys that can. But even now, okay, it's a podcast. You can, I'm in the car, listen to it while I get to LAX, and then I'll be done for an hour. Then in the plane, maybe. I'm talking on stage, though. That's just keeping people hostage.
Here's the deal. A stand-up comedy show should be 50 minutes.
Whoa.
I think if you're going to do not a whole show,
I wouldn't have a career then because then people just wouldn't bring me with them.
No. I meant like when I'm on stage speaking, I should speak for 50 minutes. That's it.
I think
that's perfect.
Not you personally, but I think I always feel like when people say, "Oh, you got to do 45, but do as much as you want." I can count on one hand how many times I've gone over an hour because I just don't have that much to say.
I couldn't count on all the hands in this room and at my daughter's school how many fucking times I've gone over an hour. Like I've gone my disease is if I don't get off at the top of the hour, then it's definitely an hour 15. It'll definitely be an hour 15.
You always have to hit the you always have to hit the 15 or half, or
it'll be an hour 25. It'll be an hour 30. Like I've gotten off stage, I was like, that wasn't bad, and you see the whole wait staff sitting by the bar, and they're like, really? Because we would like to go home. and by the way, I say this there's not one wait staff in the country that doesn't like me. However, when I go fucking long, they all fucking hate me.
Well, here's something I always notice at least about me, that my best shows are when a waitress is crying. Like when the crowd is that crazy or angry or drunk, that's my crowd. If you get back, how was the show? And the manager's like shaking his head because 2 waitresses are crying and the cops are outside. Like that's when I'm selling CDs. Like like that's my best crowd.
There's
the energy then is like people always like I don't like but usually like the early shows are usually the worst for me because those are like the people with dates, the people that don't want to hear what I have to say, or like what I mean. Those are like I can't believe you said, like people looking at me like. But the late show, it's like those are people that can't get there by 8.
Yeah. I feel like when I first started, I wanted the late shows were the ones that I liked the best.
Yeah.
Now I feel like the late shows for me are absolute chaos.
Because you have so many true fans, though.
I have a lot of fans who love fucking drinking.
Right.
And so those late shows, they start drinking at 8.
Yeah, they're literally tailgating your show.
And then all of a sudden, like I'm not even joking, like ambulances are coming. Dudes are seizing up. Like I had a guy seize up at a table. I had a guy fall face forward onto the table and split his head open. Like that is the fucking.
You're like the Stones, dude. Like trouble happens.
It is chaos.
It's pretty cool though. Actually,
I fucking
it's
like
awesome.
It.
You have fans that great too.
I like it. I like it because it's fun. But then now I look at the early shows. It's like a fun place. Like and my early shows pretty much are like a sober spot where I do where I'm working. And I'm really having fun, but I'm having fun because I'm doing stand-up. My late shows sometimes have turned into these fucking I'm a rodeo clown.
Yeah, that's what's so great about working with Bill is even when you play these theaters where half of them, they're not even on anything drinking past the gate,
Yeah.
And they're so into stand-up that they're listening to everything you're saying. And you're thinking, man, these jokes are great. Then you go try to play them in the beer hall, and they're just like, people look at you like they're not on that wavelength of genius. Not I'm a genius. Whatever. They're not trying to think and be in the joke. They're worried about no, we ordered 4 margaritas, not 2.
I used to tour. I used to tour with Jay Moore for a long time.
Yeah,
and he always had sold out shows. I mean, he sold out 2 on Thursday, 2 on Friday, 3 on Saturday, 2 on Sunday. Sold out. Fucking O&A comedy fans and you just say anything, and it would just murder. And I remember thinking at a time, I am the greatest comic alive. I am top 5 guys under 30. That's me right now. No questions asked. And then I started headlining the same jokes that were destroying were now crickets, and I was like, and I had to do hours, and I was like, motherfucker. But you learn, like, part of that is this weird getting confident on stage, and then when you go out as a headliner, like turning that corner and going, okay, now I got to figure out how to make fucking strangers laugh.
Right.
Making strangers laugh is the hardest fucking thing in the world.
Well, I'm actually coming. I don't know. I'm almost in a different way because I think I've made strangers laugh forever until maybe 2 or 3 years.
Until working with like Bill.
Well, no, in the sense like right before I left the Bay Area, I was starting to get fans.
Oh
Fans.
Yeah,
fans of me. And then you moved to L.A. and only Bill and whatever and Sarah Silverman draw. Everybody else is like, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
But now when I go around, but now between my Puck Off and a few other things and people knowing me from Bill's shows, I kind of have more fans around the country. So now I feel like people are coming to see me and it's easier. But I think the whole rest of the time I've only been making strangers laugh.
Yeah, no,
you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, you know what? I agree with what you're saying. I was not that guy.
Okay,
I was making strangers laugh in New York for a short period of time. I think I started touring with Jay. Maybe I was like 4 years in, 4 years in, 3 years in, 4 years in. And I remember at one point being in a room. It was me, Rob Cantrell, and Barry Katz. And Rob Cantrell was like, "How long has Bert been doing it?" And I remember Barry saying, "Well, Bert's an anomaly. He found his voice very quickly." And I was like, 4 years. And he was like, "What?" And I was like, "Yeah, I've been only doing it 4 years. I started when I was 26, and I was 30 at the time that conversation happened." And I was like, I thought I was on fire. And then you, I don't know, you get to headlining. I mean, one of the things I miss really is like, not miss. I mean, I don't say I'm like longing for this or pining for this moment, but being unknown, going into like the Dayton Funny Bone and doing an hour of fucking really great, I've never heard of you material, and they're like, and people are lined up to be like, you're great. We saw fucking Tribal the Smoke Monger who came in last week, and he's been our favorite, but you're our favorite now.
Yeah.
I miss those days a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I know. I mean, I'm way still in the, hey, we didn't know who the hell you are. You're great. I'm way still in that phase. But I know what you mean, though. I totally know what you mean. Just having people come up and go, that was great. We didn't know who you were, you know. And I'll tell you that, and that's kind of like the difference between working with Lisa and working with Bill. Because
wait. Okay, do that for me. What is the difference between working with Lisa and working with Bill?
Working with Lisa is,
and for those of you not listening,
Lisa Lampanelli.
It's Lisa Lampanelli,
Queen of Mean.
I can't imagine anyone would think it's another Lisa.
There's not in comedy. I think Lisa's almost like Prince, right? Yeah. Bartnick, you fucking crazy fuck. With Lisa, they might not know. Now they've been with her 7-8 years. Almost, you know, that now they almost. The best is when they come up because I'm nervous. You're always playing. I'm doing a half hour. I'm always playing the greatest hits because that's all you. Bartnick always kills. I'm going to keep that job. That's the best paying.
Yeah,
I can't get a real job like as good as that. Gig, you know. So I'm always playing the hits, but you know, after all the few years in, I'm like, I got 5 minutes to myself. And so, and then you keep adding new stuff and we're comfortable. But when people come up and go, we love the new stuff, then you're like, oh, right on. Because the whole time I'm like, there's these people I've been to like Chicago 5 times, like with her. Anyway, the difference really is that with the Queen, people don't know who you are for the first time at least. But they assume you're. Well, let's put it this way. First of all, playing any theater with anybody. People say, "Oh, they know who you are. It must be tough going out there." It's not tough. People pay $75 to go see a comedy show. If you have an act and you're funny, where's the wood?
It's all over the walls.
You're gonna kill.
Yeah,
or you're gonna do well.
Yeah.
So it's awesome. It's the most awesome thing in the world.
It's like batting cages.
Yeah. For like
You're not going to get beaned, and if you do, your dad's going to go complain, and they'll give you your money back.
Yeah. So it's all gravy. It's all awesome. But with the Queen, it's like they think they think you're famous because you're with the Queen. Because the Queen transcends comedy. Like, there's people that wouldn't know Bill Burr or Dave Attell or Bert Kreischer if they got hit by their car.
Yeah.
But they know the Queen.
Yeah.
So they just think you're like in some sitcom they never saw before. And like
So you're just even being in front of her, it puts you to a level of like, you know her. How if you know her, you must be successful.
yeah, and you got to be funny. This guy. Oh my God, what show are you on?
Yeah.
You know, and like you signing autographs. This is like, oh my God, you're amazing. You know,
Yeah.
where with Bills, they're comedy people. So you're more like in the envelope of like these are the comedy's highest fans per se.
Yeah.
Like they know good stuff, so you want to give them a great show, and then when they respect the great show, and they're like, "You're a great comic," or what? I'm not trying to.
No. I got it.
You know
I got
what I
it.
mean?
I got it. You ready for this analogy?
Yes.
Okay. Tell me if this is accurate.
Okay.
Working with Lisa is like, she's like Starbucks. Everyone's familiar, and if your CD is showing at the front of Starbucks, you got to be good. Like if your CD's at the counter of Starbucks, you got to be fucking good.
Right.
Working with Bill is like an artisan coffee shop where you go in, and if your CD's in there, you're like, listen, this is hip. This is gonna be hot. This is gonna be my best. This is gonna be my favorite CD. Because they go in for that. I don't know why I'm using CDs as an example. I should say flavors of coffee. But like Bill's like an artisan coffee shop that's big, but it's not like across the country in every market. Lisa,
I think that's even better. Like Bill's is in all of the places you like. Bill's would be in whatever all the hip towns.
like Austin.
Yeah. We had to drive to Austin to get Bill's
Yeah.
to get Bill's coffee. You can't get Bill's coffee in Corpus Christi.
Yeah.
Kind of like that kind of thing.
And Lisa's coffee is definitely in Corpus Christi.
Yeah, Lisa's coffee sold in Walmarts. Lisa's is big.
I want
that's it, but I'm not trying to knock any because they're both the. I
They're
mean,
both. Yeah.
I always
I always wanted to pay this compliment to Lisa Lampanelli, but I've never gotten to meet her officially. This is a very, very long time ago. It's been something I've always, and by the way, it's so lost now because it's not. It's like it would have been a great compliment like 8 years ago when she didn't know how big she was about to become, or maybe 10 years ago when she was just selling out clubs.
Right.
I was doing a show called Hurt Bert on FX, and I had to be a male stripper for a day. And so I went in and I was a male stripper at a girls club, and then they said, all right, time to turn it around. Now you're going to be a male stripper at a gay club. You need to win the strip contest at a gay club. So we were in Vegas. We went to an all-male gay club, and I went up and had to compete against a bunch of shows. The person who won, I mean, but mind you, I'm a comic. I go in, I do my striptease. It's okay. No one really cheers for me. Some guys throw money at me. The person who won was dressed as Lisa Lampanelli, and they played her comedy album, and he lip-synced her comedy album. And I thought, that is fucking the height.
Oh my God! I gotta tell the queen that. I'll let you do it.
No. You tell her. I'll never speak to her. I was sitting in the back, and I'm a comic. I'm a comic at the time. I've been doing it for long enough where I'm headlining.
Right.
And I'm in the back, and I hear, "Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Lisa Lampanelli." and this woman comes out dressed as Lisa Lampanelli, or a man comes out dressed as Lisa Lampanelli, and they are. All the gay guys, it's the routine that she has about gays. They're fucking howling, laughing, and he's just lip syncing it. And I sat in the back and I went, what? And by the way, I knew Lisa when we were in New York because I worked the door at the Boston Comedy Club. This is before she was who she was. She used to wear like a gold Mercedes emblem and gold rings, and like she'd dress up like she was Flavor Flav. Kind of. And so I would sit. I knew her. I knew her enough that she wasn't headlining, and I would say hi to her, and she would be nice, and we'd talk.
Yeah.
But I sat in the back, having known this person in New York, and I went, oh my God. And I thought, this woman, I didn't know how big she was at the time, is about to becoming fucking huge. If at a gay club, the person who won the striptease contest didn't take off any of their clothes and just lip synced her fucking comedy album. I thought I was really that's stuck in my craw.
That's a great story.
That's
insane, dude.
It's really insane. It's fun when you as a comic, you're in the know and you see other people get excited for someone you know very well. and I really enjoy it with Bill, because I think we've all known that Bill has been succeeding very well for the past probably like 6 years, like been just moving up. What would you say, like probably 5 years? I think he's been doing theaters, right?
I would think so. Yeah, I would. Yeah,
I remember running into him one time.
he's been definitely like selling out clubs for probably 8 or 9, 10 years.
Yeah, but like recently, just like tour bus big, like fucking next level.
Him and Verzi are doing the Garden in November, not the hey, we're doing the Garden, like the Knicks.
Yeah, but it's fun to watch people arrive on how, hey, like you go on Facebook and one of your friends is like, dude, have you heard of this Bill Burr guy? And I was like, have I heard of Bill Burr? Like fucking 16 years ago. when all he was red.